Alright, now that I've fixed that echo issue, hello, greetings. I'm really excited to make this video. I've got a lot to talk about. So I'm doing a voiceover right now. It's just like, I'll just be like freestyle talking about everything and everything. First of all, my schedule. So I'm not going to specify what exactly, like I'm not going to provide too much detail about my education, but they're what you Americans call finals, I think. I've got 10 exams coming up very soon, so don't expect a lot from me then. But what I do have planned for the future is obviously that Cupcakes TF2 parody that I have going. That's my first priority. And then after that I have like okay, I think you can hear that. I have like a 10 golf angsty horror animation planned that's meant to be an adaptation of a really good fic that I read. So yeah, if I can get that going, that'd be cool. So yeah, I'm gonna keep uploading TF2 animations with some OSC stuff in there because I am back in the OSC. Okay, wait, no. There's one more thing to talk about, and that is I'm getting a tablet. It is currently on the way here. It's gonna be. Let me find the model. What is the model? It is the VIC VK1200 screen drawing tablet, and I specifically wanted one that did not work unconnected from the PC because I'm always going to be at my PC. So yeah, anyway, about my OSC phases. This is my third time in the OSC. So yeah, as you can see, obviously I haven't even addressed this yet, but as you can see, I'm drawing my Objectsona blood bag. It's pretty awesome. You can I don't know if you can remember before. I don't think I put it on my channel before, but my Objectsona used to be a bucket. But anyway, I'm going to talk about that later. First things first. I was watching BFDI in 2010, which is when it came out, which is pretty awesome. And I remember BFDI the best, honestly. So that was me when I was a little one. And then I returned to the fandom in 2020, maybe earlier, 2020. I made a few animations. You can see them on my channel, like in the early days. And now, just now, like this month, I have once again returned because BFDIA 14 was so good. Like, man, you should go watch it. So, my old Sona, he was Bucket. I might put him on screen in a bit. Oh, that's a bit of an issue. I don't know when I'm gonna need to put stuff on screen. Anyway, he was a what are they called? Handleless bucket, stainless steel. I don't know, steel, whatever. Anyway, I considered redesigning him for the modern days, just as like the TF2 bucket, which I'll also put on screen later with like the little ridge and everything, which would have been okay. But the thing is, I was like, maybe I can get a bit more smart with this design. So for Bloodbag, he has so many like design choices that are just like they actually have meaning. I'll go into them later because there's just so much to talk about. But yeah, even his label is like personalized to have like I don't know. Anyway, a lot of stuff on him makes a lot of sense, is what I'm saying. I think actually that is all I'm going to talk about now. So now I'm just going to go into the design choices. I don't think I need a screen demonstration for this. Let's just get into it. I'm going to stop the voiceover, start a new one. How do I stop recording? Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, first of all, how a blood bag relates to my personality, because he's a Sona. So I wanted something that was less rigid than a bucket, sort of. Had a medical theme and was some sort of container, because I don't know, I consider myself like an airhead, and I consider myself kind of, I don't want to say soft, but yeah, soft. Um, and I mean, I'm going into the medical field, so yeah. And the blood obviously is edgy, and you know what I make. Um, and also because of certain masochistic kinks. Yeah. Um, Another thing is, later you'll see me turn the canvas upside down to put on the label, because usually um, the label's put on opposite the way that it's going to be hung, because you don't want the stuff. I don't know why, but it's just generally better practice. The label's upside down because that's how they're made usually. And yes, I did draw the entire label myself, which you'll see later. Which I don't know. I just wanted it to be accurate, and I mean, drawing something really nice and detailed is fun. I usually don't go as big of a canvas resolution as I did in here. I went 2000 by 2000. I know it's not crazy big, but for me, I usually do small canvases. So Bloodbag uses the standard internationally recognized ISBT 128 component labeling convention, which Lifeblood Australia uses. And fun fact, I'm going to be donating blood in maybe a month or two, but I definitely will be. Okay, I've just drawn on the label in the speed paint, but later you can see that I make like a little tear in the top, quote unquote, top label. And his eyes are always going to be segmented on the top label, so it looks like they're glasses, kind of, because there's a little tear in the middle. I don't know if I achieved that effect, but either way, his eyes are always going to be at the top. Oh yeah, in this part, I skipped over a bunch of stuff because I was outside. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like layer reorganization is not very exciting, so I just didn't record it. What's another thing? Yeah, so he's got a few tubes at the bottom that, well, you can't see right now, but that's where his feet come out of, and the middle one is his genital region. So that, like, how like a tube can like be attached or extend from that. So yeah, it extends, and yeah, he comes blood. But I just thought like the blood legs and arms would be like cool, even though it is harder as an asset. I will obviously make a simplified version of this asset because this is not very sustainable in animation. I don't think I'm going to animate him, but anyway, later, oh yeah, wait, no, I've already done it here, but here I've already separated the limbs from the main assets. I don't know if I went and like, okay, later I'll do like an asset demonstration that shows you the asset by itself and the limbs by itself, but they can be removed. I can draw on the limbs later. It's obviously harder than just other objects where you can just draw on black limbs, but I made it work. So let's see what else. Yeah, so he's got like a hole at the top of his head, which I considered reversing because like then he'd have like little ears because of the tubes. But either way would have worked. Eventually I ended up on having him reverse because I wanted the legs to come out of the tubes at the bottom. So the hole at the top, he can be dragged by that, and he doesn't die. So hanging him by that thing does not kill him because that's how he's meant to be used. What does BT lol mean? What does that mean? Give me a second. What is that? I've got that in my journal written down. What does BT mean? Oh, B. Oh, that's not T. B positive. Right. My blood type is B positive. I do consider myself a very positive person. I've been described as the most positive person, most enthusiastic person someone has ever met. So I mean, it's pretty cliche, but yeah, his blood type is B positive because he's a jolly guy. Oh, you can see putting on the barcodes now. I know I started ages ago, but that was really fun to do. I love doing the barcodes. And now about like his biology. So he is a bag of whole blood because he's a living organism. The blood inside him stays viable until he dies. So essentially, he's just, it actually makes sense for him to bleed, and he likes bleeding. So that's like, another reason why the design makes sense. makes sense. So I'll just I'll talk to them later. Yeah, you'll see me write on whole blood later. I feel like there's something else to talk about that. Yeah, I don't know. It just makes sense because he's a living organism. And yeah, it is his blood. He dies if it. Does he die? Let me think about that. Yeah, he dies if it's depleted. Oh, that is blurred because it's got personal information. Oh, yep. Just in time to talk about the logo. The logo, that is my little emblem, my Mackie emblem. So I put that there instead of wherever that's usually where the organization logo would be. So that's just me now. Anyway, there was like a little. I cut the video there because I don't know if that's where it crashed. At one point, I accidentally merged one of the layers down onto like a massive group, and the program crashed. You might see that later. Yeah, okay, that's most of the points. The last point is that half of these codes are accurate to what an actual blood bag of this type would be. I kind of just melded together a bunch of resources, but when I do donate blood, I may update him. So I think they do let you take photos. I'm obviously not going to provide. It's not going to be a carbon copy of the label, but I will update it to be more accurate. So that's sweet, yeah. I think it's now time for the asset demonstration. Oh, okay. One more thing. I don't know how I could forget. That's one of like his main features. The little flaps at the top when he is filled up. Obviously, like the bag will tense, so like the top of the bag can like fold down, and it looks like little puppy ears, which is awesome because my first Sona is a dog. I did make the ears like a separate group, so you can remove that, but then obviously like that extra bit of plastic is gone. Doesn't make any sense. So later I'll show you in the asset demonstration, but later I'm gonna make another group with just like the corners. I feel like you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna modify this a bit more later. Other modifications I'm gonna make are, did I already say this? A simplified asset. But yeah, obviously this is not my full rendering capability because I use line art. I don't usually use line art when I'm like doing like a big drawing, but objects should have outlines, so he has outlines. That's all for now. So now just like sit through the rest of the speed paint. If you feel like it, after the speed paint, I'm doing the asset demonstration. Okay, now for this little segment at the end of the video, let me show you how the asset works. So, let me take away the background first, or I could just put on a grey background. But yeah, there he is. We can take the blood out of him. Oh no. We can take the limbs out of him. Oh. So here's the asset by itself. We'll take off the face. Okay, everything pretty much. And then here are the limbs that I'd be able to like move around. If I hypothetically was actually animating this, I'd probably just redraw this. Like, it's not that hard. But yeah, halfway through the speed paint, I decided to move these from the main asset. Let's bring everything back. Another thing that I added about halfway in was this little front cover sort of thing. So it's just like another sheet of plastic above, because it looks a little weird if there's just nothing, there's no difference between these two parts. And here's the label. We're going to take the printed stuff off the label. We can take the texture off the label. What else to show? His ears. Not really ears. But yeah, as you can see, like I was saying before, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There would be like a corner of plastic here if I took away his ears. I'll make a version of that has that later. But yeah, anyway, these can fold down. I know this also doesn't make a lot of sense. It would realistically only be like a tiny little corner that comes down, but he is a fictional character, so I can do funny things with him. So that is my OSC, this palette. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Yeah.